everybody. We are live. And for some of you, you're listening to this on the Danette May Show. Others of you listen to this live on Instagram or live on YouTube. And I just want to say welcome to the show. Welcome. Thanks for being here. I want to share something that's coming up and wondered if you wanted to be a part of the journey. So a little story time is for the past, I think it's been at least the past 7 years, I've had this interesting pain in my hips, and it's been like where I feel like I've spraining my hip flexors, or they're just really tight. I can't even cross my legs anymore. I ended up having hysterectomy surgery due to fibroids, and I feel like after that surgery, something else happened that impacted my hips. And we all know that it's never just the hips, or it's never just the shoulder, it's never just the neck. There's always a counterpart to this physical ailment, which is a metaphysical response, or the emotion that we're holding on to or not releasing, right? There's some type of feelings going on underneath the layer. I realized that my mother also had hip issues. She was not athletic like me. We lived completely different lifestyles. And yet we have the exact same patterns. One, she had a hysterectomy surgery, similar to me. I had mine a little older than her, but we both had hysterectomy surgery. We both have hip issues, and we both have bone spurs in our hips. I think it's an energetic line. I believe that there is an energetic component to this. So I want to ask you a question before I get into this. Is there something going on in your body? And now think about, did one of your parents also experience the same ailment in their body? Like, for example, I experienced plantar fasciitis for like 6 months and realized my dad, at the same age that I was, also experienced plantar fasciitis. And I did all this healing work between me and my dad energetically, and it went away. I also did some physical things, but I did a lot more metaphysical. Well, I'm now noticing this hip issue, which is going to totally impact my freedom. It's going to impact my mobility if I don't get to the root of it. Also, my mom and then her mom also carried the same things. Sure, people might say, oh, that was genetics. Oh, that's your postural type. Yes, and I believe there's an energetic, emotional component tie that I want to get to the root of and completely heal my hips. So ask yourself, is there something going on in your body physically that you can trace back to your parent also experiencing? It's very, very fascinating. And what I want to do is I want to go on a journey where I uncover how you become your healer. It doesn't matter if you have a shoulder pain, an elbow pain, a neck situation, I don't know, hip like me, knee, ankle, foot. There is an emotional tie to each part of these bodies, in particular those areas, lower back that I just mentioned. Shoulders, neck, lower back, hip, knee, and foot. These spots are pride spots in the body that hold energetic cords. They also hold emotion. So I would love to research different types of healers. I would also like to dive into the nervous system regulation I'm going to need to do, the deep inner work I'm going to need to do to clear out this lineage line, because it's definitely in a lineage line, and really look at what belief systems did my mom take on, did my grandma take on, that got passed on to me, that are tying up the hips. And I also want to go a step further. I want to look into those key points I just shared with you and the different parts of the body so that you can heal yourself. So you can see the energetic emotions that are tied to those particular body parts and work on the nervous system around it, the belief systems around it, and rewire that. Plus, what do you need to do physically? What type of motion, movement, healing work that you can actually do without surgery to completely heal that spot? Now, first off, you got to identify what injury, what area is acting up, then see if there's a tie to it to a parent or a grandparent. Is there some type of pattern you're noticing in your lineage line? And if you notice it, then great, hallelujah, now we can heal it. And it stops with you. How exciting is this? So there is this healer that recently met in Costa Rica, and I've always understood that sound frequency has this ability to heal. that certain frequencies heal. And also Nikola Tesla talked about this, Einstein talked about this, how frequency was going to be the future of healing. And that was going to be the future of medicine. And I wholeheartedly believe it. We have studies about frequencies healing tumors in the body, different cancers in the bodies. But this man who I met was using these, they were almost like metal rods, and he was pounding them together, almost like he was chiseling on your body in these spots on my friend's shoulders. So she went and got an MRI, and she had multiple tears in her shoulder. Now, this has been bothering her for years. The MRI shows complete tears, and they're telling her, you should get surgery. And she could barely lift her arm up. She definitely couldn't rotate it back. And she had come to me in Costa Rica and said, hey, I'm going to probably have to get surgery. I've tried PRP, I've tried stem cells, I've tried body work, I've tried all sorts of things, and this shoulder pain is not going away. And now I can't lift my arm, I can't rotate it, it's hurting, and I don't know what to do. And I realized this girl doesn't use this shoulder very often. It was her opposite dominant arm. She's not super athletic. It's not like she's using it in a sport. So what is this? Why does she have this injury? Of course, she does the human thing, which we all do, which is well, maybe I slept on it wrong. Sometimes so we go, oh, I got in that car wreck back in 2012. That's why my lower back hurts, or I played football, or whatever the story is that your human mind wants to make up. But she met with him in 2 sessions, full range motion of her arm. She's like, wait, the pain's gone. What is going on? I asked her, she went home. A month later, I asked if the pain had returned and the movement had decreased. She said no. So she is also going to join me as I go and learn from this man. He's not only just going to do physical frequency sound inside the area of the body, but he's doing energetics and hypnosis, because he's sometimes we don't know what story or what subconscious belief we're taking on that's contributing to the area of your body. Now, if you're like me, your hips are the seat of the soul. They literally hold your soul. Your womb space is this soul center. And if the hips are tight, which are the holders of her soul, there's something around trust. There's something around freedom to express or trusting to express. So I definitely know I'm starting in those clue areas, but we're going to dive in deeper. I want to take you along for the journey. If you don't mind, let me know. Would you like to be a part of this? What I would do is film certain sessions. I would share what my morning routines are, because I'm doing, like I said, food. I'm doing blessing water. I'm doing prayer. I'm doing visualizations. I'm doing all the metaphysical things, hypnosis, and I'm also doing physical things. So I'm doing very specific stretches, very specific movements, almost like retraining the body like a baby, retraining my hips to move in a different way, retraining my muscles, the major muscles and the minor muscles, so that I am retraining everything. I'm working deep pelvic floor, core muscles, and then I'm going to do this work with him in Costa Rica and learn deeper about this modality. Let me know if you want to be a part of this journey, but I'm really curious about the power of sound for creation, the power of your own mind and your ability with intention to heal yourself. I do believe this is the future of medicine. This is the future of healing. I also believe that there's something that could have happened in our past, all of us, some type of memory, some type of thing that happened, whether we consciously remember it or not, that has created a belief system or a holding pattern that has created this imbalance that we might be seeing manifest in our 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. This is really exciting, because what I do know is we could go get the surgery, right? We can go get the surgery, relieve the pain for a moment, and usually what happens is that pain will just find a new spot. That means why someone has shoulder surgery, then they need knee surgery, or they have hip problems, and then they have neck problems. Let's get to the root of it, and I want to take you on a journey of how you do this in your own body as well, because I believe this is the future of medicine. Thanks so much for being here. How is the end of your year, the beginning of your new year? Like I said, I don't really celebrate January 1st. I really try to stick with the ancient ways, which many civilizations, many cultures honored these ways, which was following the stars. That's how they tracked the calendar, was through the stars. And it wasn't just the Mayans that did this. It was the Aztecas. I mean, the Egyptians, the Grecians, they all did this. And somehow along the way in our very modern world, we decided to create the Gregorian calendar and not follow the stars, which is really dumb in my opinion. So I'm going to be celebrating my new year more close in February when it is in the true alignment with the astrological signs, and which gives me time because it feels appropriate to finish the shedding phase, to finish this 9-year cycle of clearing out these memories, these patterns, these thought processes that are not serving me, that most likely came from childhood or came from a lineage line. Also to do deep healing work. I'm going to be going, like I said, down to Costa Rica in January and diving deep with these different types of healers, these ancient modalities, and researching this and letting my own body be the client and see what happens. I've always been fascinated by the body. I believe that our bodies are antennas, that they hold information about our evolution. They hold information about the stories we're holding on to or the trauma we're keeping, and they're just tuning forks. And I want to use my body as an amplifier and really take time to heal it, because I believe if I create an alignment in my body and I do some healing work within my body and prime my body, it affects every area of my life, my relationships, my goals, the way I create out in the world. And so this is going to be my assignment as I clear out my 9-year cycle heading into February of 2026. If you want to be a part of the journey, make sure you're following the Danette May Show, which will be featured on YouTube as well. So you can see the videos of what I'm doing, how I'm working with these different modalities. And then I'll probably put it all in one big bundle once I'm all done, which I imagine will take at least 6 months. But in the meantime, I can take you on the journey with me, and you can follow along on the Danette May Show. You can follow along on, like I said, the Danette May Show on YouTube, the Danette May Show on Spotify or Apple Podcast. All you have to do is click the follow button. It's absolutely free, and be a part of this journey. I'm sending you so much love in your healing journey. We're so more powerful than we even realize. And this is one thing I know for sure, is that these bodies that we live in, we live in these bodies, they're just communicating with us. They're not trying to revolt. They're not trying to work against us. They're not trying to hurt us. They are just communicating deeper messages for us to start listening to. And sometimes it has to get a little loud, a little crunchy, a little achy for us to finally listen, to change our ways. So let's giddy up, let's do this together, and I'll see you inside YouTube on the Danette May Show, inside of Apple Podcast and Spotify of the Danette May Show. Love you guys so much, and have a beautiful day.